Welcome to 2026 wrestling fans. We did it. We made it through another year of wrestling. 2025 was pretty much a spectacular year in wrestling, and today we are going to break it down in terms of wrestlers and matches, wins and losses, whatever. What was your favorite moment? Everything like that. In 2025, we're going to look at both AEW and, of course, WWE. Alright guys, so first up, we're going to be looking at AEW. This is just a random website I found in a search result, whatever. It's called AEWresults.com. I wonder what they're going to show. So, for you guys that don't know, I'm a big AEW guy. I used to be watching WWE every day, all day, every day, you know what I mean? And it's a story for a whole nother time, but I stopped watching WWE. Long story short is that in 2019, when AEW came about, they kind of ignited my love for wrestling once again. So that is why I'm more of an AEW guy right now, but still, I respect WWE and things that they do. But first off, we're going to get right into AEW and their results here. So this is just for Dynamite. Okay, AEW Dynamite in 2025. They put on 259 matches. 200 of those were men's matches and 56 were women's, but 3 were mixed, which is nice. AEW is trying to bring back that mixed tag matches and make it regular again, you know. And 150 wrestlers, I assume, meaning that wrestled. Here's a breakdown by each month, how many matches were in each month over the year, of course. Looks like a good average of, I'd say, 20. Over the course of the year, 79 matches had people ringside, which is actually quite a bit. There was 55 matches with distractions, 59 interferences, and there were 102 beatdowns after the match ended. That's insane. 72 of those were followed by someone running in for the save. Wow, so majority of the time. Again, looking at this is only Dynamite. This is not Collision or Rampage, which Rampage doesn't even exist anymore, so they don't even have anything for 2025. And also excluding pay-per-views, alright? Hold on. Collision, for 2025, they had more matches on Collision than Dynamite. I just realized that after I went to read my number. Wow. And they had more wrestlers, way more men's matches. Actually, well, way more all of it. They had more mixed matches and stuff. That's pretty crazy. Okay, over the course they had 141 people. 141 matches had people ringside. 54 had distractions, 67 interference, 93 beatdowns after the match ended, and 59 of those had someone in the save. So that's pretty interesting. That just kind of blew my mind when I read that. But anyways, back to what I was saying is this Dynamite had 259, Collision had 344, and then for pay-per-views there was 82 matches total. So that brings a grand total of 685 matches for AEW in 2025. Now, it's really hard to find the matches for WWE, like an exact amount of matches or whatever. They would say, oh, they had this many events, but they didn't say how many matches. So I gotta take advantage of AI and see if they can figure something out. So let's take a scroll over here to Grok. And as you can see, I was like, how many matches did WWE put on? And they're like, oh, there was only 77 matches across the live events. And I'm like, premium live events. I'm like, that's not what I'm asking. So I said, okay, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and premium live events, exclude the house shows. So they WWE put on approximately 856, so about 200 more or so. So Raw had about 245, SmackDown had 290. So Collision itself beat both of those, which is insane. Dynamite actually beat Raw, and SmackDown actually beat Dynamite. So that's pretty cool. NXT had 244, so Dynamite also beat that along with Collision. And then they had 77 matches for premium live events, which AEW had 82. So that's pretty interesting. They had more matches, but they also do have 3 shows, and it's a pretty good average. I was gonna try to make a claim there, but I'm not gonna attempt to. So thank you for Grok for this, because I couldn't find this information anywhere else. I don't know how many Google searches, but I could not find. So let's go back over to here. The Dynamite matches. Jon Moxley had the most with 29 matches on Dynamite. Losses, Wheeler Yuta with 15 losses. But that's not even the crazy part. Tag team victories on Dynamite. We had the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, because, you know, they hurt people. Singles victories was Hangman Adam Page with 13. Jon Moxley was right behind him with 12. Pretty nice, pretty nice. So the cool point about this website is that they actually have these hashtags, and they actually go to what matches had what. So you can see what matches people got thrown into the barricade, or steel steps, or an eye gouge was in the match, a referee breakup, there was a hug, somebody got thrown at a timekeeper's area, there was a handshake, a doctor check. You can sort through all those to get like the specific matches that you want or whatever. Really cool. Shout out to AEWresults.com. That is super cool. They even have different stats for the referees. Aubrey Edwards had 63 matches that she officiated, tying Paul Turner. I mean, those are the majority that you do see out there. And then Rick Knox and Bryce Remsburg, of course. I've seen Mike Posey. Stephon Smith, yeah, I know him too. Samoa Joe is one. That's pretty cool. Justin Roberts announced 251 matches on Dynamite. Really cool. Commentary. They got stats for days, and then they go through all the different matches and whatnot. I had to wait until the last day of, December 31st, because it was on a Wednesday. So AEW Dynamite was today. I am recording this on Wednesday, but I will be posting it on January 1st. So yeah, Dynamite literally got over like an hour ago, and that way I could have the most updated results at the end of the year. So next up, we're going to look at the win-loss records, and this is where it gets pretty interesting. So shout out to cagematch.net, not a sponsor, nothing like that, but it's the internet wrestling database, which they have everything on here, man. They have, the news, they have different events, they have event statistics, results of everything, the titles, the rosters, match guides, win-loss records, promos, even ratings for the promos in whatever episode it is. And I think it's just based off ratings from the website, not like, global or whatever. But it's a really cool tool to kind of see a little bit what the fans kind of vote on and everything like that. Even the wrestling games, rivalries, everything like that. But let's take a look for 2025 at AEW. We already know Jon Moxley had the most matches wrestled with 53 matches, and Konosuke Takeshita had 49. He's in second. Roderick Strong had 48 matches this year, and unfortunately for him, he did not win a lot, which sucks. Bandito, he is on a fantastic roll this year. This has been the year for Bandito. 47 matches. That guy has just been going and going. Brodito, the tag team, is just... I mean, if, Brody King wasn't injured, he did return kind of like tonight. But anyways, one of my favorite tag teams, honestly. And then Daniel Garcia actually had 46 matches this year. It didn't feel like it. I don't know if that's just because they're not memorable or something else. Thank you, phone. Kyle Fletcher also had 46. He was on a roll this year too, as he was the champion. Yeah. And Claudio Castagnoli, 45 matches. But okay, before we kind of start sorting things out, let's head over to WWE. So we got Jon Moxley with 53 matches for AEW for 2025. Who do you think has the most matches in WWE for 2025? Drum roll, please. The person with the most matches in WWE for 2025 is LA Knight. Yeah. So, and he had 67 matches this year. About, 10, 15 more than Jon Moxley, which, he's probably on Raw, SmackDown. I don't know if he was really on NXT or anything like that, but he has been working this year a lot, which I can understand why people are upset. I've seen a lot of things online saying, LA Knight needs to be a champion, whatever. Where's the push? He's having all these matches, but, he's he has a majority win percentage, but he's still not a champion. Go figure. Next up, we have Roxanne Perez, 66. Penta had 63, former AEW guy. Javon Evans, 59, which is pretty impressive since he's the majority on NXT, right? I think he just started wrestling on Raw this past week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember, but I don't watch Raw that much. Okay, every now and then I do, because I do have Netflix. But next up, we got Jey Uso, 58. Shiloh Hill, I don't even know who that is, 58. Sol Ruka, I just seen her wrestle on Raw, I think this last week, and I was really impressed. Stephanie Vaquer, 54. I really wish she would have went to AEW, but it is what it is. So next up, let's look at who had the most wins. Jon Moxley may have had the most matches, but who had the most wins? And that would be Takeshita himself with 33 wins, so one more win over Jon Moxley. Kyle Fletcher had 31, right under Jon Moxley. Bandito with 3, Megan Bayne with 28, Powerhouse Hobbs 27, Tony Storm 27, Samoa Joe, and so on. Now when I go to win percentages, that's where things kind of get a little iffy there, because somebody could have one match and won it, and that was it, and there can be 100% win percentage, which here we have Adam Copeland himself, Mr. Edge, 3 matches, 3 wins. If anything, this is the one that would count, because 20 matches for Hologram, and he's won all 20. Right now he's injured. I didn't realize he had 20 matches and he's won all 20 in 2025. But let's just disqualify all these people. The next person, percentage-wise, would be Hook, which has had 20 matches and have won 18 of those matches. Again, this is by percentage, not how many matches. Samoa Joe is technically next up with 26 out of his 31 that he has won. And then Eddie Kingston, but he's only had 11 matches. So you kind of have to have a threshold of like, where do you start? Does it have to be a 10 match minimum or whatever? I wish I could sort it like this, but I don't think I can. So it is what it is. That's why we're just going by the wins and losses. So losses, which this is the biggest surprise, guys. I mean, it's not surprise for number 1. Unfortunately, it's Roderick Strong. He has the most losses for 2025 at AEW. I hate to see it, and I think a lot of the fans hate to see it too. But 27 losses and only 21 wins, but he's, what was it, 3rd or 4th in most matches? Something like that. So, but this is the biggest shocker when I was looking at this, man. Claudio Castagnoli, man. He is 2nd for most losses in 2025, man. 24 losses. He has a losing record, 20 and 24. That's insane. I mean, that guy is and he has 1 draw. But he's technically tied with Speedball Mike Bailey, but Claudio did have that draw in, I think it was the tournament, and that puts him down a little bit less in, or more in percentage, however you want to say it. So technically Claudio has a less win percentage. Yes, I think that's how I'm trying to state that. And then Daniel Garcia is right under Speedball at 23 losses and only 20 wins. And then Platinum, Mr. Platinum himself, Max Caster at number 6 with only 2 wins on the year and 23 losses. Now, you know, that's his gimmick right now, because let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive. Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive. Clearly he is in... He's not even the best in losses either, but he's not the best in wins either. And right below him, Wheeler Yuta. I'm actually very surprised at Hechicero being that many losses. And in the Don Callis family, because Hechicero is actually really good. He's like a legend. So that's pretty surprising, to be honest. But John Moxley, number 9. He's had 20 losses this year, along with Josh Alexander. And I could go through this whole list. It's to just kind of see how many people have lost or whatever. But shall we head over to WWE? We already talked about LA Knight having the most matches in WWE, so let's see who has the most wins in WWE for 2025. And that would be Stephanie Vaquer herself, man. 43 wins. She's only lost 8 times. She's had 3 draws. Wow. I'm assuming those are in NXT. I'm just assuming. You can tell me down in the comments below. That's fine. Jey Uso with 41. I mean, they put him over as champion for sure. LA Knight still top 3 with 39. Not bad. Sol Ruca has 39. Okay, wow. That girl has impressed me. Like, just watching the one match that I saw her wrestle, I don't remember who it was against, but she impressed me. I'm already like Sol Ruca over Charlotte. But I'm a Charlotte hater, so take that as you will. Penta's got 35. Obafemi, that big, giant, insane dude. And the list goes on. Ethan Page, actually, 29 wins, not bad. Let's take a look at the losses. Who has had the most losses in WWE for 2025? And that is Roxanne Perez, the gal herself that has had the second most matches in WWE for 2025, 66 matches, and she has lost 44 of them, man. Ooh, that is brutal. Lainey Reed, I do not know who that is. I'm assuming NXT. She has 36 losses. Shyla, these all seem like NXT people. I don't watch NXT. I'm sorry. Hate me if you want to. I don't care. Like I said, I'm more of an AEW guy. I just want to throw this in for you guys as just a little, filler, whatever. But these are the best rivalries rated by this community and everything in WWE. Not for just 2025, but this is just overall. And the top one is Dragunov versus Walter, before he was Gunther. With a 9.82 rating, but only 88 votes, while the next one, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, had 165 votes, and it's 9.73. And then this would be probably my favorite of all time, is Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon himself. I mean, that is just classic. That's what I grew up with, so of course I would favor that. But it's so fun to see someone living out the dream of just beating the crap out of their boss, you know what I mean? And we can do the same thing over here at AEW. We can go to rivalries and sort it out by the rating for rivalries, which number 1, no surprise, Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. I mean, How insane can you get when you burn someone's house down, and then you put it as your Titantron? Every time you come out, yeah, that rivalry got really personal, and it was a lot of fun. Next up was Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley, which was absolutely awesome too. But then you got the internet that always hating Adam Page, blah blah blah. Don't let the internet lie to you. Hangman Adam Page is a fantastic wrestler. He can do promos. He's a great emotional cowboy, whatever. But I think he's past that stage now. He's just a legit badass, you know what I mean? But that's all I really wanted to discuss with you guys today to kick off the new year. Welcome to 2026. I hope we have a great lineup of matches and pay-per-views in 2026. Let me know down below what your favorite moment was in 2025, whether it's in WWE or AEW, whatever you watch, I don't care. I want to hear your stories and your favorites down below. Who is your favorite wrestler of 2025? Who was your wrestler of the year for 2025? I would love to know. Comment down below. And before you guys get out of here, you can stay if you want, doesn't matter. But for people that are returning, I just want to do a little update for the channel because obviously this is something new. If you have watched and stayed with me for like many years or whatever, normally I do gaming content or like basketball content or whatever. For the new year, technically, I have come to terms with the fact that, one of my passions is wrestling a lot, and I've gotten a lot of hate, like in my personal life growing up. Like it was always shunned. It was just like, oh, you like wrestling? Ugh, ugh, ugh. And you know what? I need to embrace it, and I figured out that maybe I need to make videos about wrestling. I love basketball. I love gaming. I love basketball gaming and stuff like that, right? But one thing that was always true in my life was wrestling. So why not make wrestling content, right? So for this year, just to update those guys, returning subscribers, or if you are new and you are still here listening to me for this, there's going to be a lot more wrestling content on this channel. I'll be doing like reviews of matches every Wednesday, or probably every Wednesday. Obviously I'll upload it Thursday, maybe the weekend, Friday, something like that. I'll figure something out how to do it, but I do want to do like discussions talking about the show and the episodes and stuff like that. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna do for WWE. If I do some WWE reviews, episodes or whatever, it's only gonna be for Raw, because that's the only thing that I can watch because I have Netflix. And I gotta tell you guys, I mean, it's hard to watch Raw. Like, being an AEW guy, it is hard to watch Raw because it's 2 minutes of footage of wrestling, and they're like, oh, and that's it. And then it's ad. Here's some wrestling. Here's a promo. Ad. So I'm like, but maybe that's what needs to be heard on the internet, even though everyone's complaining about it, and Triple H and the creative team don't even listen to anything that we say on the internet anyways. So, but I can put it out there. So anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to update you guys. Thank you for sticking through with me. I know I've been gone for years and stuff. So that's the update. More wrestling stuff. Enjoy your 2026, and I look forward to a fantastic year.